So I want to do a video about female metalheads and females who enjoy punk music. And I want to do this video because I feel that girls are kind of, women are kind of discriminated if they like enjoy this certain type of music. And it's kind of like, oh wow, a girl who likes metal. That's so weird. It's like, that's awesome though, usually. Um, I think it's the whole gender idea that metal is for guys because it's, it's not sweet and it's just really raw, and there's like talk about mythologies and demons and devils and death, and it's not light, it's heavy metal, right? So I feel that you know your gender as a girl, which society, this is not what I think, this is what I think that society thinks, is that if you're a female you're supposed to like nice pretty light fluffy things. And the thing about me personally is I enjoy both. I'm a girly girl, but I also enjoy like metal and harder stuff, and I see myself as kind of like a tomboy, but like yeah, I am a girly girl. I do my nails, I do my makeup, I shop, I go shopping for clothing. I have girl issues, but I still enjoy heavy metal, and I love dark things. I love like mythologies about demons and devils, and I like all that kind of stuff. And I guess that has to do because like most of my upbringing, I spent around my dad and my brother a lot, so I guess that was my influence, and I just enjoy the things that guys enjoy. And again, that's kind of like pointing towards each gender. It's like, again, if you're a guy, you like the darker stuff, and you're a girl, you like the lighter stuff. But anyways, staying on track here. I consider myself like a female metalhead, but I just like to say I'm a metalhead. I don't really want to like genderize myself. It's like I say I'm a metalhead, but then you see me and then you think, oh well, she's also a girl. It's kind of weird or cool depending. Like most people think that if girls like metal, that's really freaking awesome, because like you want to take a girl to a show, and if she likes metal, that's freaking awesome. But if she's the kind of girl who like wants to sit around and pout, it's like this stuff is too dark for me, then that's just a really boring girl, in my opinion. So yeah, I really enjoy metal. I one thing I wanted to point out is when girls go moshing in this is just for punk and metal. When girls go into mosh pits, it's kind of like discriminated in a way that if you're a girl, like all the guys, because I'm not gonna lie, there's always gonna be more guys than girls in a mosh pit. It's just like there's a lot more guys at metal shows usually. Like from what I've, with all the shows I've been to, metal and punk shows, I think punk shows have a lot more girls in the audience. Maybe that's just because girls maybe like punk more than metal, or they have, it's like sometimes it can be because their boyfriends or friends are in the band kind of thing. But anyways, from all the shows I've been to, it's always that when I jump into the mosh pit, because I love to mosh, I love dancing and I love headbanging, and like I'm very, I just enjoy the music. I love metal, I love punk, I love just going with it. It just feels good on the soul, if that makes sense. But I find that when I've jumped into mosh pits, all the guys kind of like, oh, go all easy on her. There's a girl in the mosh. Like, oh my god, like, there's a girl. Like, be careful. And it's kind of like that kind of pisses me off, because it's like, yes, I'm aware. Like, I don't. I know what's gonna happen if I go in the mosh pit. I know I could get punched in the face or hit in the gut. Like I know that's gonna happen, and that's the adrenaline rush of mosh pit. So, yeah, and I've been kicked in the face and the ribs before, so like I know what I'm getting into when I go into a mosh pit. Certainly, when I go into a death metal mosh pit, I really know what's happening. So I know that I might never come out. Um, but yeah, like that's one thing I find, that when you go into a mosh pit as a girl, like the guy's kind of like, oh, let's go easy on her. and I play paintball sometimes, and that's also another thing is like when I've done that, guys will notice like, oh, that's a female player, like be careful, don't shoot her as much. Like, I know what I'm getting into. I want to play the sport equally as everyone else. But anyways, that's just something that I personally find is kind of annoying when it's like, oh, a girl, you have to go easy on her. But no, like I want to be part of this. Like I'm like this is something I want to do. I want to go in mosh pit. I want to get the hell kicked out of me. Like whatever. Sorry, I had a really bad cough there. And another thing is some people think that when a girl says she is a metalhead or enjoys metal or enjoys punk, she's a poser or she's just trying to get attention. And personally, I love metal. Like honestly, punk is my first love of music. When I was like 12 or 13, I started listening to like a local radio station. And I'm not talking about like punk, like Sum 41, Billy Talent. I'm not that's not really like I kind of enjoy those bands, but I like underground punk more better. So like I started listening to radio station and age 12, 13, when everyone's listening to like Billy Talent, I'm listening to this Descendants, Casualties, Exploited, like all those guys. Those are the first couple bands that I really got into. Bouncing Souls, Rancid. Well, Rancid is kind of like popular punk, but still like underground punk. And all those bands I got into, and then I started listening to death metal a couple years later, and yes, I was into the Metallica. I don't like Metallica so much anymore. I was more into like Megadeth, Iron Maiden. Like I really enjoyed those bands when I was younger. Just because I love I love the sound of metal. It sounds so good and just feels good and like it's amazing. Like I mean I'm the kind of person that, like I like every kind of music there is. Like I'll even listen to trance and like jazz and stuff, but metal is just it feels so good on the soul. It's just like and breakdowns and like solos and one artist that I've always really enjoyed is like Yngwie Malmsteen. I discovered him like 2 or 3 years ago from a friend, and like that music is just feels so good. And then I got into more heavier like death metal. Like I like a lot of the Norwegian, the Scandinavian metal. I like a lot of that. Oh, I'm so sick. Sorry. Of course, I love bands like Suicide Silence, like Die Hard is Murder. Like a lot of the popular kind of YouTube metal bands. I like a lot of the bands that I'm listening to now. Death's of Hatred. I went to go see them a couple weeks ago. It's pretty awesome. And going to metal shows is just, it feels so good for me. It's just when I go to a metal show, it's just like, oh, this is awesome. Like have a beer, like headbang, just like it feels good. And I'm not someone who like stand around. I'll go into the mosh or I'll just I'll go into it. You know, I don't want to just stand around. But yeah, there's a lot of couple bands that like Skynet. There's I can't pronounce it, Bilaka or something. A lot of really good like melodic death metal I'm really into. And it's funny because when I'm on the bus going wherever I need to go, I have my headphones on and I like to kind of blast some metal. Just it feels good and gets my adrenaline. It's kind of like caffeine. It's kind of like a cup of coffee for me. It's like makes me more awake. If you're a female, do you feel that like your taste in music can get discriminated against because you like a certain genre? And if you are a female who likes metal or punk, and do you feel that when you go to shows you kind of like objectified or discriminated because you're a female, and some people find it hard to believe that you're at this show? So yeah, that's pretty much that video. And yeah, let me know in comments like what you think about the scene and the genre and gender and all that kind of stuff. So